Hey everyone, Ken Blevins, REO agent. Just to bring you up to speed, this is an update on REO Maestro. It's my attempt to recreate a REO agent-centric platform that we used back in the early 2000s in a .NET environment that took years to create and hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars to design and implement. And what I've already built is in a matter of 2 or 3 days is already far, far superior from what that technology was. It just shows you the power of AI and these vibe coding tools that we live in today, and it's just phenomenal. And so I'm hoping to demo this and chronicle the REO Maestro 2.0 build here, so you can just see how powerful this is. So where we left off was so I had created REO Maestro. It's just got a dashboard here. I'm going to completely redo all this, but this is what it put together. And then I've got properties, clients, vendors, and then I've got maps and settings. I'll show you more of that here in a minute. But what what I'm trying to do is just see how long it takes to recreate Maestro. I had hoped to have more time to work on it this week. I started this project on Monday, Memorial Day. Today's now Saturday, May 30th, and I've had maybe 2-3 hours to work on this, so really not much time at all. In addition to properties, I've added in my current assets outside of a 10 package eviction package that I still need to add back in. So I've got real data in here that I'm playing with. So these are real properties that I've got in here. And what I am really excited about is what I worked on this week was the notes, because I want anytime I have an email, most of us still work on email, but most of the emails that come in, we either throw in a folder or we get the information and go on. I want that collection of email notes inside of Maestro, because the AI can read through those notes at all times and let me know what's going on with that property. And so, when showing requests come in, or even the feedback reports, all of that will be captured inside of here. So this is what's really cool. Let me just show you one here. So this is a property that we have under contract. I can see in the notes here, I've got 43 notes. This is, I haven't added any, and the email has attracted 43. So I can see here my notes, and that's what I would type in here if I wanted to create a note. So you can see how quickly that does it. Create a note. I can see here I'm the one who added it. But anything here, REO Maestro, is what it collected from the emails. So the old REO Maestro back in the day, in order for it to capture a note, we would have to, in that email, put in a link to that specific file in the CC, and that way it would, on the back end, get captured in that file. And that was state-of-the-art technology. Today, all I had to do was just vibe code telling the back end of Base 44 to monitor my email, my Google Gmail, and in there look at not just my account, but my TC's account, and then any of our distribution emails. So admin at Metro West RES, it's monitoring. Sold at Metro West RES, it's monitoring. Info at Metro West RES, it's monitoring. And anytime, and all I had to do was tell it, anytime an email comes in and this address, or 617 62nd Avenue, it's smart enough to figure out different variations of the email of the property address. If that is in the subject line and or the body of the message anywhere, it'll pull that note right into the back end. So you can see this is one we have under contract, and you can see all of the notes, mostly CDA. This is from Rain, which is HUD. All the notes are in here from the last couple days of all the emails going back and forth to get this property closed. And so this is great for us to go, and I can certainly look at the chronicle history. But down the road, the value of this is that AI will be able to read all of these notes, and it's going to start capturing things like showing requests and what's the feedback I've gotten, because all those come into the email, and we usually throw them into a file. We'll read the comments, delete the message, and so forth. It's going to be captured now in this repository, and it will be able to do so many more things with the AI, such as monthly status reports and things like that, where it just will have all of this database knowledge as far as what's happened on this file just from the emails coming in. So that's why I wanted to create that real quickly. This is what's really cool too. If an email comes in and it's got a PDF document attached to it, it just throws it into the files over here. So you can see this came from the email. So I didn't put any of these attachments in here. I can do that. I've created a drag and drop where I can just throw stuff over and into this files tab. But this is what's really cool. It's telling me from this email, here's the executed closing package. Here's the settlement statement. Here's a utility bill payment receipt. Again, I had nothing to do with adding these in here. The AI did it on the email that came in, recognized it had a PDF attached to it, and then it pasted it in here. And here's the really cool thing. If you ever get a PDF, it's usually just a bunch of letters and numbers that don't really make sense because the file system at the time that captures that PDF, Adobe or whatever, will create the file name. You can, of course, rename it and everything, but it's usually just a hodgepodge of all kinds of numbers, and it doesn't really make sense. I didn't rename these. What I told the AI to do is when that PDF comes in, scan the document, figure out what it is, and then just put that that name on the PDF. And so you can see here, it's actually created what these things are. So let me just click on this and just show you real quickly. So here is a utility payment bill, executed closing package. So if I click on that and go to my docs here, or my downloads. So see, this is a perfect example of it. Look at this. So this just happens to be in my downloads, but that's what the PDF would have normally been called. But now I can see exactly what it was. Here it is, HPA Master Listing. No, that wasn't it. I wonder if it just named it in there. Yeah, Master Settlement Statement or Executed Closing Package. Yeah, this is the old name, because there's the utility bill. That's interesting. So it renamed it in here, but when I open that package up, so let me go ahead and do that. If I click on and open that package again, there it is, post-closing checklist package. So here is the unique name. So I'll have to see if it can do that, change the name so when I download it, I can see what it's called in there. But yeah, here's the closing package. But again, it's pretty cool that that closing package is in there. But now I'll have to say when I export it to keep the name the same, because it just renamed it in here for my purposes, but the actual document is still what it was created in that email address. So really interesting. But again, this technology is so amazing. But this is really all I've had time to do this week. I've updated a few, like I've added in an HOA contact page, a valuation page where you can add valuations. So I'll be enhancing in all of this. I just was kind of playing around with it, this week, but maybe 2-3 hours. But again, my favorite part now is all of this notes. I can create notes. You can star them. So if I want something to, so say this email here, please see attached. I don't know what it is, but I'm just going to star that one. So now that note is starred, I can come up here and I've got 2 notes starred. So I can see which ones. I can unstar them or come back in the email. So if I have an important one in here that I want always at the top to remember, I can just go ahead and star that note. Really cool. And so here's where I add a note. So let me just show you this. So I don't like this because it's hard to read. I had to look for it a couple times, write a note. So what I'm going to do is come over here into the vibe coding, and I'm going to tell it, for the notes, the write a note section, that doesn't stand out enough to me. Can you make that more stand out and easier to notice when you're on the page looking at the notes? So I use whisper mode just to go ahead and give it that prompt, and then I hit send. So it's thinking, and it'll go ahead and, so it read, make the composer section stand out more. with a vibrant background. I don't know about vibrant, but you can see it now making the change. So you can see what it's done here. It's not done yet. It's still thinking. Now it's done. So it did, I don't know if I like that 100%, but it did make it more, it did make it stand out more. So, you know, I don't know if it's better or not, but in any case, I can add that in. And now I can go back to my notes all, and I can see a chronological history. And I've obviously just put these in here as a demo, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete them out. But it did make it more pronounced. We'll see if I keep it. This is still kind of grayed out, so, but let me do this. Let me make this section white and see if that doesn't make it a little bit more easier to find or look. So again, I'm just going to come down here into the vibe coding box, and then I'm going to tell it in the add a note section where you actually write the note here, make that all white. And so it makes it easier to see what you're writing in that box. So I give it that prompt, then I'm going to go ahead and send it. It's thinking. It's planning the steps. Let's go ahead, and there it is, done. So you can see how cool this is and how these changes are. Let me do something else while you're watching, just to show you how fun this is. Give me a search feature that will allow me to type in a keyword and then highlight that word all throughout the messages, all throughout the notes. So if I'm looking for a specific message and I want to use a word that I know is in that message, it's easily identifiable. Highlighted in yellow. All right, there's the prompt, and I'm going to let it start working. So it's thinking, it's editing, property notes. It's just amazing, the tools that we have at our disposal today. So you can see it working here. I think if I click on here too, I can actually see it. So it's now added, edited properties. Now add the UR. You see it's telling me what it's doing. Now add the UI section. Between the composer, pass highlight. You can see it making all the changes. All right, it's telling me it's done. So here's the search notes that it added in now. And let me see if what something I want to be able to find. Let me just do this. So I want to see everything that REO, since they are the HUD asset manager. Yeah, so you can see right here, REO showed up. REO. Isn't that amazing? So now that search is completed. So if I was looking for something from, you know, Michelle, who is our TC, let me just put her name in. So there, Michelle. So it's pulling it up, Michelle in her. So very cool. Wow. Oh, and it even tells you 30, result 30 found. So yep. So you just saw a new feature that I added. I updated this box a little bit, added a search feature into the notes. But that's how amazing these tools are. But that's the update for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day.